Have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on with the fat in your body? I mean, it's so much more than just calories in, calories out. Deep down inside your cells, there's this constant, delicate dance happening, a story of building up energy for later and then burning it for right now. So today, let's dive into that incredible balance. I mean, it's a pretty fascinating puzzle, right? Think about it. You eat a big meal, and your body flips into store mode. But then, an hour later, maybe you go for a run, and it has to slam on the brakes and switch to burn mode. How on earth does it manage those two completely opposite jobs without everything just descending into total chaos? Well, the answer is just so elegant. It all comes down to two opposing but perfectly coordinated biochemical pathways. You can really think of them as the yin and yang of how we handle fat. They're total opposites, but together they create this perfect, harmonious balance. Okay, so to make this super simple, let's imagine these two pathways as two highly specialized teams that work inside your cells. We've got a demolition crew that just loves to break things down, and a construction crew that's all about building things up. On one side, we've got our demolition crew. This process is called beta oxidation. Its whole mission? To dismantle fatty acids and release this huge rush of energy. And on the other side, we have our construction crew, fatty acid synthesis. Its job is the exact opposite. Take little building blocks and construct big fatty acids to store that energy for later. Two crews, two completely opposite jobs. All right, let's give our demolition crew its proper scientific name, beta oxidation. Now, this is what we call a catabolic pathway. A really easy way to remember this is to think of the word catastrophe. It's all about breaking things down. This process takes those long fatty acids and just methodically chops them into tiny 2-carbon pieces of a molecule called Acetyl-CoA, which is basically the universal energy currency for the cell. Now, on the flip side, our construction crew is officially known as fatty acid synthesis, and this is an anabolic pathway. Just think of anabolic steroids, right? They're all about building up muscle. Well, this process takes that same Acetyl-CoA, and instead of cashing it in for energy, it uses it as a building block to construct brand new fatty acid chains for storage. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. To keep things orderly, these two crews don't even work in the same part of the cell. I mean, you can't have the demolition guys and the construction guys on the same site at the same time, right? It'd be a mess. So the cell gives them two completely separate workshops. So our demolition crew, beta oxidation, is stationed inside the mitochondria. And that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? The mitochondria are famous for being the power plants of the cell. So if your job is to break down fat to release immediate energy, yeah, that's exactly where you'd want to be. Meanwhile, the construction crew, fatty acid synthesis, they set up shop way out on the main factory floor of the cell in an area called the cytoplasm. This is where all the raw materials and other machinery for building new stuff are just readily available. And this physical separation is absolutely key to the whole system. It's just a brilliant piece of biological design. It makes sure that the cell isn't trying to build fat and burn fat in the same place at the same time. I mean, can you imagine the waste? It's the ultimate example of metabolic efficiency. So, we've got different locations, check. But the separation goes even deeper than that. It turns out these two crews also use completely different toolkits to get their jobs done. Let's picture beta oxidation at work. It's basically a disassembly line. A long fatty acid chain comes in, and a whole set of specialized enzymes just chop, 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 taking off 2 carbons at a time. And with every single cut, a little puff of energy-rich molecules is released. It's a super methodical demolition process. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so to build a fatty acid, you just run the disassembly line in reverse, right? Just glue the pieces back on? Nope, not even close. It's way more clever than that. The construction crew uses a special high-energy building block called malonyl-CoA. And this is a huge deal. It means synthesis requires a unique raw material that the breakdown process doesn't even touch. And get this, the differences keep on coming. Even the way they handle energy is opposite. During breakdown, beta oxidation uses these molecules called NAD+ and FAD. You can think of them like empty buckets, perfectly designed to capture all the energy being released. But to build something, you have to spend energy. So synthesis uses a totally different molecule, NADPH, which is like a fully charged battery, ready to donate its power to fuel the construction. So let's just pull all of this together for a second. This is really that aha moment. When you lay it all out, you see that these two processes are polar opposites in every single important way. the process type, the location, the energy molecules they use, and even their key building blocks. It's not just different, it's a beautifully mirrored system. All right, so this incredible level of separation in location, in tools, in molecules, that's clearly not a coincidence. It is an absolute masterpiece of biological design, and it brings us to what might be the most important question of all. After seeing all of this, we really have to ask, is building fat just the process of breaking it down, but, running in reverse? And the answer is a big, loud, clear nope. Absolutely not. They are fundamentally different operations from the ground up. I mean, think about it like this. You can't run a wrecking ball in reverse to build a skyscraper, right? You need totally different blueprints, different tools, different materials. It's the exact same logic in the cell. These pathways are distinct because they use different enzymes, different energy currencies, different building blocks, and they happen in completely different parts of the cell. And this is the real genius of the system. By having two totally separate pathways, the cell gets two different light switches. When energy is flooding in, it can flip the store switch on. When energy is scarce, it flips the burn switch on. This separation prevents what's called a futile cycle, which would be like having your heater and your air conditioner on full blast at the same time. Just a massive, pointless waste of energy. It's just a stunning example of efficiency and tight control at a microscopic level. And this whole principle of keeping opposite pathways separate isn't just about fat. It's a theme you see repeated all throughout biology. It's a powerful reminder of the incredible, mind-boggling precision that life itself depends on. It really makes you wonder what other elegant designs like this are at work inside of us right now.